I'm doing fantastic. How are you? Yeah, that's one of them canned drawings you give people when you don't really want to talk, but you know you still have to talk, right? You know what I'm saying? You give them the generic greeting and shit, right? Like, it's one thing to lose, right? You know what I'm saying? I can take an L in life, right? If I take an L in life, being myself, right? Something that I truly believe in, something that I know that can take me to the next level, and I just so happen to take an L, then so be it. It's extremely hard to take an L when somebody does it by being you. You know what I'm saying? See what I said right there? I want you to take a look at the Chicago Bears, right? Take a look at the Chicago Bears and how they operate as a team, right? From top to bottom. Right? Before this game, what did I say? I was like, man, you lose to the Cowgirls, or you got to play the Chicago Bears, and they're a better team than the Cowgirls, right? More talented, right? That's a team that I think is just as talented as us. Obviously, they seem to be picking at the top of the draft every year, but they finally got it together. But they got it together with guys who are glue guys who don't, guys who understand the fabric of this sport, right? And it's probably something deeper than that. What did I say before? I love that Bears roster as much as this Philadelphia Eagles roster, right? First and foremost, right? Like I said before, those are a bunch of Philly cats, a bunch of Delaware Valley cats, a bunch of cats from South and North Jersey. All these guys that I mentioned in my last video when I was previewing this particular game here, right? And to be in a city like this or in the Delaware Valley, it's just it takes a certain type of person, right? Those guys are blue-collar guys. You never hear anything from a Philly Flyer, DeAndre Swift, from a DJ Moore, Kevin Byard, all these guys like that, man. You don't never hear from them dudes, right? They just go out and play the game of football, and they play it the right way. These boys piled up damn near 100, right? $150 on us at halftime on the ground. On the ground. That's exactly the Philadelphia Eagles' way of playing ball. That's how we won a title last year. They played Philadelphia Eagles football with a bunch of Philadelphians, right, in Philadelphia. Let that shit sink in there, man. From top to bottom, you have a head coach who calls his own plays. So you don't have to go through every other year when you are able to grab a good coordinator, then you have to go through the doldrums of like, oh, shit, we got to grab anybody, right? Which we've seen now in alternate years. Yes, Kevin Patullo is ass, right? Kevin Patullo. We've established that. But you know what? It's funny, right? I think, and people are probably going to poo-poo it, but there's a lot of the times where these major broadcast announcers, they go through, right? They have a lot of shit to do. They're covering so many games. A guy like Kirk Herbstreit is a college football guy. He's got to do some college football tomorrow. He's going to go through and look at content creator shit, right, and kind of cut it down and seeing what people are talking about. He said, and this shit, I can play it, he said that pretty much he was like, well, I know Kevin Patullo is ass, but we have to look at execution as well. My man Jalen Hurts, right, just like Saquon Barkley, is he seeing it? There were times in this game where I'm like, damn, Jalen, throw that joint right there, right? It's right there. It's there. And he might lollipop it, or he might not be on the same page. There was a time, right, A.J. Brown, he had a good game, right? I'll give him props on that. He had a very good game, right? The Bears weren't concerned about the passing game, to be honest with you. They wanted to limit the runs, and they wanted to establish the run themselves, and it feels like they shortened the game. That game felt short as shit because they were running the ball and bleeding clock, and they were gashing us, right? If you look at everybody on the tackle list, it was mostly everybody up the middle. And they were still gashing us, right? You'll see a total tackles, but a lot of those tackles were 6-7 yards beyond the line of scrimmage or more. That's Philadelphia Eagles football. The Chicago Bears have a great future, and it is a future that feels like it's built on Philadelphia. That shit is scary, right? They destroyed our defense. Our defense looked soft as shit, right? Soft as shit. And this is the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Man, let's check a couple of these things. I don't even want to do much of this shit right here, right? It's too late anyway, but we'll check a couple of things out right here, and you react to this. This play stood out to me, right? You had Jordan Davis make an incredible play right here. He's at the strong shade here, right? On the strong side, they're going to be running weak side, so Kyle Monangai here, right? From Rutgers in Jersey, North Jersey. Your man right here wants to, of course, hit that organic cutback crease right here. But Jordan Davis does a great job of staying with the presence there, discarding Splakataya. That was nasty, right? One more time with that shit. I like that, right? Bang, walking the dog, right? They moved the guard, right, from the strong side over to him as well. And then you can see him moving laterally. Look at that. That's just exactly how you would teach it, right? Almost like you're playing a piano with your feet. He disengages. Kyle Monangai is fertilized, right? He gets up, doing his little 1-2 thing and all that, right? You know what I'm saying? He about business. Then the very next play, did they get discouraged and go away from the run? Nope. Same exact play. This time, right, they're running weak side and they want to cut back towards the strong side here, right? You got Jordan Davis, this still on the strong side right here, right, doing his thing. But then watch what happens this time. Bang, boom, look at that. He gets ran to the damn near the concession stand and then 9 yards down the field. Right? If that was us, they would have gotten discouraged, and then it's time to look to pass or something like that, right? It's time to do some nut shit, right? Instead of nutting up, playing the line of scrimmage, establishing yourself, coming back right there, same exact scenario, right? Same exact scenario, this time with the left guard, and Jordan Davis is yoked up right there, yoked him up by his shirt lapel, and it ushered that man over there to the concession stand. Monangai cutting back off that side right there. Jordan Davis is unable to do his little joint that he did the last play, right? That stands out to me right there. That's being physical. That looked like us last year. Have we looked like us this year at all? What is our team identity? We're not a running team. We can't run the ball. I talked about having a happy Thanksgiving, right? Tank Bigsby, because you can see if that man's in the game, it's on, right? He didn't get a carry. This is a poor Thanksgiving, right? We had a poor Thanksgiving. Nothing to be happy about right here. Not establishing the line of scrimmage. Saquon Barkley it wasn't his worst game, right? It wasn't his best game, but it wasn't his worst game either. And we still tried to lean a little bit too much on the pass, despite the fact that we weren't really down that much the entire game, if at all, right? You know what I mean? One possession for the most part. Now, did y'all see this on 3rd and 6 here, right? It was 17-9, 3rd and 6 here. You talk about not being on the same page. Like, Kevin Patullo, no doubt about that. Right, I just don't understand like what we would do if we were to fire the guy. But if they had a plan in place and they thought that somebody could do something better, right, I'd be on board with it, right? But I'm just realistic about it. It's about to be week 14, and you're going to fire somebody when you're on a playoff chase who is the offensive coordinator who's calling plays. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. That doesn't I don't know. But, I mean, I'm up for anything right about now because – I mean, you got to have these guys prepared now. You want to put this on the players as well because, look, they showed man. They backed out in the zone. If you're A.J. Brown here and you're a veteran, you know to sink under the zone here. I think Jalen Hurts recognizes this, and he's expecting A.J. Brown to be a little bit more inside. A.J. Brown dips outside and then tries to come back a little bit on the inside, and I think he loses his footing. But that's originally right there. There's nowhere else you need to go but right there. You can recognize the zone after they sat there. Look at it right here. Right here. He wants to, of course, like if he's throwing the ball right there, maybe, you know what I'm saying, the guy drives on him or whatever like that. But if he sat down right in the middle here, he gets the ball and he's running off right here. This is what I'm talking about. Are your guys prepared? He's just drifted even further away. He drifted even further away, and Jalen Hurts throws the ball, and he's expecting him to be on the inside because I'm pretty sure that, I mean that's the way it goes right here, man. I'm at a loss for words with this particular loss here, man. Cowgirls loss was terrible, no doubt about that, with a collapse, but you just got beat from pillar to post, got that ass spanked by a team that was more physical than you. Cowboys not more physical, right? They had to hit a bunch of explosive plays, had a bunch of, like, fluky shit happened and all this and that, whatever like that. But I mean, man, right? And not to mention Elliott, man. I remember that I've probably only mentioned kickers 3 or 4 times ever in my 12-year career. That boy is something going on with him mentally, man, and he's not clutch anymore at all, right? I mean, shit is a little bit different if it's a one-possession game. You're playing it a little bit differently, but that has nothing to do with something like this, right? Sit down in that zone, and that's a first down. You're continually to move there, but move it on right there, drifting and drifting and drifting. Nah, you're not going to be able to get it there, man. Damn. Man, my bad, Top Billy, man. I'm just really not feeling it right now. And, man, I'll have to come back with a proper film study, man, a little bit later. But I don't know. I wanted to enjoy my holidays, right, get a little bit of a victory over the Bears, right? A team that I told you before I have a lot of respect for with the personnel on it, right? It's a team I've been following heavily this year. Like I said before, most of those players on the Bears are my favorite players, right, in the league, right? And a lot of those players played for our team here recently as well. And they're all from Philadelphia, so I knew they was going to come back and show out on a game like this, right? You can't let a loss like the Cowgirls beat you multiple times. And I feel like that's exactly what happened, right? Very listless to start the game, and, yeah, we paid for it, right? We got out physical on a Black Friday game, national. We're the only game in town, right? The only game that anybody's going to pay attention to, and that happened to us, so we have to wear that one, right? But we'll get it together, man. We'll see what's going on with the all-22, and I'll come back with something proper there. But, man, ain't really much shit to discuss, right? We got beat up front on both sides of the ball. Man, them boys was playing their asses off on the other side of the ball. So, shout-outs to the Bears, right? I have a lot of love and respect for the city of Chicago, too. My wife's people are from out there, right? So they were, they gonna give me the business for real. They were already warming up to this game. They know that they've been having a good season and everything. So it's all good. That's a great city out there, right? One of the most beautiful skylines in the world. And yeah, but you know what I'm saying? We're still the Philadelphia Eagles, and we'll still be there in the end. So we'll see what's going on, baby. But hats off to everybody, man. Happy Thanksgiving. We did not have a happy Thanksgiving. He didn't get any carries. We didn't play our style of ball at all still. And, yeah, we're left with Kevin Patullo and a defense that, you know what I'm saying, you could talk shit about Patullo and all that, right? Which we will, no doubt about that, but the defense let us down today, right? Not physical enough. So it is what it is on that front, but much love to all my villains, man. Like I said before, we'll get it together. Big salute to everybody out there, all my villains.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.